Are you ready to go on a big, bold, beautiful journey? Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already to never miss a video. We have daily content, including film reviews, movie news, and so much more. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button to never miss a video. Today, we are talking about A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, starring Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Now, going to this film, I was kind of excited. This is a film I've been seeing quite a few trailers for. Been kind of stoked to see it. It looks like it's kind of new, kind of exciting, while also giving us something familiar. So I kind of went in with high expectations, but I will admit I did see some very negative reviews prior to my screening, so it kind of put me down a few notches for excitement. However, within the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was just like, okay, this is definitely not what I thought it was, but it's something so much more. It's so much more and something so much better, because again, this has that familiarity of what you come to expect, of familiarity, while also giving us something new and exciting. There's definitely some flavor here, and I have to say, just from the start, it definitely leans heavier on the comedy side, more or less the romantic comedy side, so it has, that romantic comedy feel. But this script, it completely takes what you think you're in for and just flips it. There's a lot of just there's moments, you watch romantic comedy, you're like, really? Like that? Like, seriously? And the characters are kind of self-aware, so it makes the film almost like a satire in a sense on the romantic comedy genre. I wouldn't go as far to say that this film does for romantic comedies what Scream did for horror, but we're kind of inching towards that. This is almost there. It has that sense because, if you see the trailers, you'll see that, he's driving the car and has the GPS is talking to him, and, it's telling him to pick Sarah up. And it's like, oh, my car won't start. That's funny. My car told me to come pick you up. And that's kind of a misleading scene, but the entire, we're going to give a tiny spoiler. When the film opens, it's very much, you're very much aware of what you're in for, because he goes to rent a car and it's so straightforward because his car has a boot on it, he has to go to a wedding, and he goes to rent a car and he's like, well, what's your options? All we have is it was some version of a Saturn. He's like, I thought they discontinued those a decade ago. And the person at the thing is like, no, not here. That's actually all we have is a Saturn, and that Saturn, the exact same car. And it's this really funny, self-aware, commentary that kind of sets up the entire film. So every kind of moment in this film, it's very much self-aware. There is no realism, or even this art imitating life sense of boy meets girl. It's very much, it's like the Cabin in the Woods movie, okay, with Josh Whedon's Cabin in the Woods from 2012, where it's playing, kind of making fun of all the tropes of horror, but not full on Scream where it's self-aware, but it's kind of poking fun at that. That is what this film does with romantic comedies. And it does so in such a brilliant way that it is an absolute blast. I kid you not, I was laughing my ass off through this entire movie. It's because it's so self-aware. The dialogue is very sharp. It's very forward. At no point does the film take itself too seriously. And even at your most cliche moments, the film is self-aware of that, and the characters call out, the cliche moments. So again, it kind of gets that Cabin in the Woods Scream feel. I feel like it's more closer to Cabin in the Woods than Scream, because again, this is not going to be the film that kind of reinvents the genre of rom-coms. Although I have to admit, there is a pattern I'm seeing here. And I feel like rom-coms are on the rise, and all these various takes to kind of come out and bring the genre back, but in a new and refreshing way, is definitely on its way. I feel like the studios know that people want something more or something different, and they're taking and just catapulting things at the wall to see what sticks. Again, we had films like Materialistics this year. That was a rom-com. The Roses, which again was kind of a rom-com with a different kind of feel to it, but still kind of similar to what we've come to know and expect. And I know there's one more I'm missing. I just can't think of it on the top of my head right now. And then we have A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, which again it has these moments where it's very self-aware, but even then, it's still just a lot of fun. Because even when it's not being, even when the humor is turned down and it's more focused on the serious side, it never takes itself serious to the point where it's cheesy and over the top. Because you have these heartfelt moments that are more, actual conversations and these meaningful moments that have substance to them, and it really feels meaty and it's not chewy. It's the perfect cook. And you have these really great moments between these characters where they have these really in-depth conversations, and you have the cheesy one-liners and the tropes of, it's not you, it's me type thing, and you have those different conversations, but they're played out completely different than in a typical rom-com, which kind of really makes it work. And just the overall direction of the film, it's very well toned throughout and well paced. It just comes off to be this new kind of style of rom-com, or a new take on a similar story that works out really well. So with that being said, I'm going to have to give this one a full price. I'm even tempted to give it a Ferris Bueller because I could see myself taking off and going to see this movie again just because it was that much fun. It was really enjoyable. I ended up liking this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I had high hopes for this movie from the start. It was something I've been wanting to see. And then, again, some of the reviews kind of were negative, so kind of had me a little hesitant. But going in, I came out of the movie and I was super stoked for it, had a blast, and one that I have to recommend because, again, it's not like your typical rom-coms. I don't know, I think it was last year or year prior, we got The Lost City with Sandra Bullock, Channing Tatum, and Brad Pitt, which, again, that was more of what you would come to be a classic rom-com, or that 2000s rom-com where it's over the top and cheesy. And honestly, I didn't like that one that much. It just felt too Anywhere But You came out last year with Gwen Powell and Sydney Sweeney, which again was kind of more leaning towards traditional rom-coms, and that one I really liked, and it worked because it wasn't too tongue-in-cheek. And I thought that was going to be the rebirth of rom-coms, but coming over so far this year, we've had a lot of great rom-coms or films that kind of fall in that subgenre, Big Bold Beautiful Journey included, that kind of take a new spin to rom-coms and really work. And I'm kind of excited to see what we get next, because we're on our way to getting a lot of great subgenres of rom-coms and kind of seeing where they kind of tilt the spectrum to say where they're going to kind of find that sweet spot. And I'm excited to see it. Have you saw this film? What are your thoughts? Comment below. Let me know.